Hey you guys, it's your girl Symone and welcome back to my channel. If y'all can see by the title, today is another story time. So before we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give a girl a thumbs up, and comment down below. So y'all, this is a story time y'all been waiting for. I'm happy somebody had actually commented and was all like, can we get the one about fire? Like, you know, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot all about that. So yeah, this is story time that y'all been waiting for. This is the one about fire, y'all. If you could see by the title, I don't know what I titled it, but this is the time I was a weirdo. I was the weirdo. I ran somebody off. What the fuck was wrong with me? It's still no explanation, y'all. I literally just got off the phone with my sister and we was talking about it, and she was still trying to tell me that I was not wrong with what I... Y'all, let me explain. Alright y'all, so before also we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you follow me on all my social medias, Instagram at Vivalayoshii, TikTok and Twitter at LifeWithSymone, and let's get into this video. So y'all already know the story took place. Remember I told y'all, if you didn't see the part 1, when I told y'all how I met him when I was in Hollywood with the crackheads, because my sister met the boy, and yeah. So yeah, that's how I met him. So remember when I told y'all how he was saying like he wanted to take me out for Valentine's Day and all this other shit. And mind y'all, I met him the day before Valentine's Day, so it kind of rolled over into Valentine's Day. So after we left the hookah lounge, he had hit me up and was like, I want to see you, like y'all about to go home, like what y'all finna get into? So I'm like, well, we wasn't finna do nothing. Mind y'all, I'm sleepy as fuck. When I tell y'all ever used to talk to anybody or y'all used to deal with certain people, it's this other boy, it was like this too. And I didn't know if he was like this or not, but I liked him. I thought he was cute, so I'm like, I ain't sleepy no more. But you ever know like a person where it's like when they hit you up, you have to be on go right then and there, because if you don't reply back in a quick amount of time, they gone, they just disappear. I don't know, it's just weird. But anyway, I didn't know if he was like this or not. But I wanted to see him, so yeah, let me put my knee up. Yeah, so anyway, so I ended up hitting him back and I was just like, nah, we not doing nothing, like, you know, we just still chilling. I just gotta drop everybody off at home. I'm like, but my sister coming to my house, all this other shit. So he was all like, oh, okay, well, I'm just right here chilling with the homies if y'all want to pull up, like, I do want to see you. He's like, but if you don't want to, it's cool. So I'm like, nah, it's cool. So he had me pull up to his homeboy house, y'all. His homeboy do not need a name, but later I'll tell y'all more. This is crazy because the homeboy had a sister, but we'll get more into that in a minute. So anyway, we pulled up to the homeboy house. So and he's in the car. So his homeboy get out the car and I get in the car with him. And then his one of his homeboys got in the car with my sister, and then my other homegirl, she had got out the car and she was like talking to his other friend. So I'm in the car with him and we just talking. We just really just, you know, having a good time in the car. And he like, what you doing today? Like, it's Valentine's Day, what you got planned? Like, you got plans? And I'm like, no, I ain't got no plans. I ain't got no man. I'm single. And he just like, what? Like, I cannot believe you ain't got no plans. Like, you ain't got no man, no plans. You ain't got nothing. I'm like, I ain't got a plan. Like, you know, I ain't got shit going on. So he just like, I'm gonna take you out. So that's how we established him talking about he was gonna take me out for Valentine's Day. So he was all like, what you want to do? Like, you more of a breakfast person or you more of a dinner type of person? So I'm like, either is fine with me. And at this point, it's probably like 2-3 in the morning. So he was like, okay, well, if you want, we could go to breakfast. And then he was like, and do dinner. Like, we could do both. So I'm over here like, you fine, you applying pressure, you making plans. This man is just the total package, y'all. So I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I'm down, we could do that. So he like, all right, I'm gonna hit you in the morning and I'm gonna let you go get some rest or whatever. I'll hit you in the morning. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we end up leaving, and when we got back to my house, I dropped my homegirl off and me and my sister got to the house. I'm telling her, I'm like, bitch. And my sister was kind of upset though, because y'all, she was talking to this boy. She had just started kind of talking to this boy or whatever at this time, and he had hit her up, but her phone died, and he wanted to like bring Valentine's Day in with her and shit. And she was hot, like she was so mad. But anyway, so we talking or whatever. I'm telling her like, yeah, he want to take me out in the morning and all this other stuff, and then take me out for dinner. And that's what he told me too. He was all like, we could spend the whole day together, but he had shit to do, like he had to go make money and shit like that. He was like, so we could do dinner, he go run whatever he got to do, and then breakfast, then he do what he got to do, then we do dinner, right? So I'm telling her, I'm like excited. So the morning come, he hits me up, good morning, all this other stuff. So I'm like, so I'm excited, and I'm getting dressed, like I got cute or whatever, and he ended up coming to pick me up, and we have went out to eat, right? Everything was cool, like we talking. And one thing about me back then, y'all, I'm not like this no more, but for some reason back then I used to be so shy. Like, I don't know what it was, but I used to be so shy. Like, I used to be shy as fuck. Like, I used to be so nervous around like men, so I would kind of be quiet. And it's like, I don't know, because it's one boy had said it to me too, and I'm gonna do a story time about him. I forgot what I named him. I have to go back and listen. But remember the hotel party when I said his homeboy came through and was, yeah. But yeah, him, I remember he told me, like, why when you be around your sister, like, you be yourself, but then when it's just us, you be kind of like nervous, like, you know. And I'm like, I don't know, like, I used to be so shy. So I'm over here, like, we talking, but you know, it's kind of like whatever. But he still just seemed interested in me, like, he's making me laugh, like, we really just having a good ass time. Anyway, so yeah, so we just having a good ass time, you know. And like, even though I'm being shy, like, he's still just like bringing it out of me, making me smile, making me laugh. So everything was cool, right? So he ended up taking me back home, because mind y'all, he had picked me up or whatever. So he ended up taking me back home. I'm just telling my sister how perfect it was. I'm like, oh my god, he's so perfect. He like, I'm gonna see you later. Like, I'm just like, oh my god, like, you know, I'm just telling her and shit like that, right? So something ended up, like, because he went wherever he was doing whatever to do whatever he needed to do. That's none of my business or y'all's. But he kind of went far out or something like that. I don't know. But something came up to where he was like, he's not going to be back in LA area in time for us to go to dinner. And I know some people probably thinking like maybe he had a girlfriend and he took her out to dinner, or he took somebody else out. I don't know or don't care, because I just met him. So if that was the case, I don't know, I don't care. So I'm just like, okay, you know, it's fine. He was like, but if I want to see you later, I mean, if you want to see me later, like, we can see each other later if that's cool with you. Like, I want to spend the night with you. Like, and I'm just like, he was like, I could probably get a nice room for us, and, you know, still give you the little Valentine's Day special and all that other stuff, which I was totally fine with. I know y'all probably thinking like, Simone, you just said met him like a few hours ago. I don't care, obviously, you know. So I'm just like, okay, that's fine with me, whatever. So I ended up going out with my homegirls, and we went back to Hollywood, and we had got dressed and stuff. That night was fun too on Valentine's Day. None of us had dates. Y'all, we was all single. None of us had dates. We was each other's dates. But we ended up going back to Hollywood or whatever. So later that night, it was 4 of us. It was me, my sister, and my 2 homegirls. So we ended up dropping Tati off because I think she had something to do or something like that. I don't remember why. I don't remember like how Tati ended up getting out the car, but we ended up dropping her back off. So it's just me, my homegirl, my sister at this point, right? So he ended up calling me, and he was just like, I'm back in LA, but I'm finna meet up with my homeboys there at Takeover. You know, I'm finna go out there real quick. My homeboy want me to see his new car. So I'm like, okay. Like, and he was like, if you want to come, like, you could pull up right here. Like, we just kicking in, chilling and shit like that. Like, you know, I know you got your homegirls with you. Like, you could come. So I'm like, all right. So I tell them, like, we finna go pull up to the Takeover, right? So we pull up, y'all, and my homegirl, she knew like his homies and shit, so she got out the car, and we just all loud, like they loud and shit like that. And we pull up, so he over there, and he just like, oh, what's up? Like, you looking good. So I go over to him, you know, get him like a little hug or whatever. We have followed each other on Instagram too, y'all. So, you know, we just talking, chilling. At this point, I looked this so stupid. Now I think, well, no, I didn't look stupid, but y'all, I ain't even finna say what I had on. I had on a dress, and I had on these heels, but remember those tennis shoe heels, y'all? I had some of those on. But anyway, so they was just ugly. The ones that I had was ugly, and y'all, them shoes had me in a chokehold. I used to wear those shoes so much. Like, they really had my ass in a chokehold. But I think I looked it cute though, and I had my weave. I had like a side part. It was cute. I looked it decent. I looked decent. So anyway, I'm over there, and I'm just chilling with him, talking to him. We got on dresses and shit because, y'all, we really had got dressed and went to Hollywood or whatever. So I'm over there. We had Takeover. We outside the cars. We just chilling and shit like that. And I forgot something happened. Like, one of his homeboys said something, and it was just like a big thing that had happened. Like, somebody had got into it. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to remember because I really just thought about it just now. And I think my homegirl got into it with like one of his homeboys or something. It was something like that, but it was like some hood shit that was going on. Like, and it was just a lot. Like, I really don't fucking remember like about that too much about that. But I remember he was like, all right, let's go. So I'm like, okay, I have my homegirls with me. Like, you know, he was like, oh, that's fine. Like, I could just get a big enough room. Like, I could get a room that got 2 bedrooms in it. Like, you know, so we could have our, like, you know, a living room and a bedroom, or 2 bedrooms. So we could have a room, they could have a living room, whatever. Like, I'll just get that. But I don't know why he didn't just say, because, oh, I don't know. I think he thought if I would have went home, then I probably would have played up and never came and seen him again. So at this point, I was already excited because I'm like, he want to see me so bad. And I know somebody going to be like, girl, he just wanted to you so bad. But either way I go, I didn't care at that point. So I was okay with whatever what he wanted to do. So I'm like, okay, so I parked my car. We ended up parking. I parked my car at his homeboy house. Remember the homeboy from the night before when I met him, he had me pull up? So I parked my car at his homeboy house or whatever. And yeah, and we hopped in the car with him. We all hopped in his car, and it's just me, him, and my homegirls, like my homegirl, my sister. So we driving around, mind y'all, it is Valentine's Day night. We're driving around trying to find a room, unsuccessful as hell. But mind y'all, he told me if I could drive. He was like, can you drive? And I'm just like, oh, he had that big body, and I just was like nervous because I'm like, I don't want to drive. This car is nice as hell. I don't want to mess his car. But anyway, so he had me driving or whatever, and he in the passenger seat, you know, just rolling up and smoking and shit, and they in the back. And y'all, and he was letting us play music on the aux, and they was playing, man, I'm like, y'all with the bullshit playlist, they was anyway. But anyway, we trying to drive around. He telling me like where to drive to. He was having me drive to some nice ass rooms, like real fucking nice. So I'm like, yeah, it's not like he just trying to pull up. And even when I was telling him, because I'm over here telling him like, I know this one little janky room, and he's like, like I'm not taking you to nothing like that. Like, no, like we not going to nothing like that, and we gonna go somewhere nice, like it's Valentine's Day. So I'm like, all right. So we really realized everywhere we was going, we cannot find nothing. Like we was not able to find shit, like no rooms available. And of course we wasn't finna find no room available. So why my homegirl over here, because he like, yeah, we not gonna be able to find a room we looking for, like, you know. And some people might gonna say he was probably trying to do all y'all. No, he really wasn't. It wasn't like that. I really think that he thought if I would have dropped them off, then I probably just wouldn't have came back. I really don't know. But anyway, so we end up trying to find a room, and we went to this one last spot. Why my homegirl, y'all, why is she over here talking about some, and this made it so awkward in the car, because she gonna say, well, we probably not gonna find the room with 2 rooms in it, or a living room and a room, because it's last minute. She was like, so me, like, she gonna say her and my sister gonna say, we could go in the closet while y'all fuck. Why would you say that? Like, why would you say that? And I'm over here just like, now I'm just sweating, because it's like, why would you say that? And my sister dying laughing, like, girl, no. She's like, or we could go in the bathtub, like, you know. And I'm just like, y'all are stupid. Like, why? He just laughing. He just like, I'm tired. Like, I'm just trying to go to sleep at this point. Like, I'm tired. And I'm just like, right, me too. Because I'm just like, girl, why would you say that? Like, why would you say that? But anyway, so we end up driving around. We went to the last spot, and we realized they had nothing. So we end up, he was just like, you know what, it's cool, let's just call it a night. So he took us back to my car, and we got back in my car, and we like went home. So y'all, at this point, I'm just like, oh my god. And I'm just telling my sister like, he's the one, girl, he's the one. Mind you, at this point now, I've known him for like 24 hours. So she's like, he's the one. And I'm just like, yes. I don't know what it was, but I felt like I just started moving too fast. That's what really ran this boy off. I started being weird. I was moving too fast. Like, when I tell y'all us lasted 30 days, y'all, dang, I should be 30-day trial niggas, because even me and the booty man was like 30 days, y'all. Okay, anyway. So that happened or whatever, and it was the next day. So he had hit me up, and it's not like he was still trying to like say like, oh, I'm gonna get a room with you, nothing like that. No, he really was just saying it like Valentine's Day or whatever. But so the next day came, and he just, you know, hitting me up, being consistent and stuff. And he had asked me like, so what are you doing later tonight? Like, my homie is having like a little, like, not a kickback, but they like barbecuing, and people be coming over and just chilling and shit late night, like, y'all, if y'all want to come through. So I'm like, all right, like, let's do that. So we gonna do that. So I came with more people this time. I ended up pulling up back to the same homeboy house, y'all. Now this is when y'all could realize about the homeboy, because the homeboy had a sister, and we just gonna give her a random ass name, because I couldn't think of nothing to be her name, like, and it, like, I couldn't think of nothing that just reminded me of her. And then it was very much something I could have said, but if I would have said it, it just would have been too close, too obvious to who she is. And y'all know I'm not for putting people out there like that. Like, I say my stories, and you know, and if it's like, if you know, you know, but if you don't, yeah. So we're just gonna call her Shantae. That's not her name. That ain't nowhere near her name. So we just gonna call her Shantae. So the homeboy that he kept having me pull up to the house, having me park at his house, had a sister named Shantae. That's not her real name. And Shantae and Fire used to fuck each other. But at this point, I did not know this. And come to find out, Shantae and Enemy used to date each other. I did not know this. Mind y'all, I knew who Shantae was because of mutual people. Like, we knew mutual people. Like, she knew people I knew, and, you know, I knew people she knew. Like, we had mutual friends. We never hung out, of course, because our mutual friends wasn't like friends like that. Like, it wasn't like that. But we knew of each other. I'll see her IG here and there, you know, whatever. that's about it. So I never knew that Shantae and Enemy was even a couple. Like, I never knew that, because like I said, when I met Enemy, I remember how I told y'all how I even found him on Instagram. Somebody posted a picture with him and I was thirsty and went and found his Instagram. So I wasn't following him beforehand, so I didn't know his past relationships. I didn't know shit because I wasn't following him before. When I started following him, we started talking, we got in a relationship, like boom, just like that. So I didn't notice at all. So we pull up, or I pull up or whatever, and my sister and my homegirls, they in the front part, and I go in the back where he was at with his friends and stuff. Like, they just stay in the front. So we in the back or whatever, and I walk back there, and I'm just like trying to be cool, and he just like, oh, okay, like, you know, we talking, they talking and shit like that. And I'm pretty much just there because, like I said, I would be shy, and then my people is in the front just kicking it, but I want to be around my boo. So I'm just over here like shy, kind of looking at my phone but not doing too much. I don't want him to think that I was like being pressed by a nigga about where I'm at, because it was like, no baby, I'm with you. But anyway, so yeah, so we just chilling or whatever, and then next thing you know, Shantae comes up in there. So I didn't even know that this was Shantae's brother. Like, I didn't know she had a brother. I didn't know none of that. I didn't know nothing like about Shantae. Like, I didn't know shit about this girl. Like I said, we just was mutual friends. I would see her sometime because of course we hang around the same type of people. Like, we hang, like, you know, I would see her at different like hood parties or shit like that, like after hours, shit like that, because we know the same type of people. Like, so yeah, I don't know her though. So she walks up, so I'm just looking like, oh, okay, you know, small world. It is a small world, because when I tell y'all, it's some females, it probably was like 3 girls, I'm gonna say, that's just random ass girls in LA is big but small. It was like 3 girls that we talked to like the same people more than once, and it would be like, damn, like you again you again, like, for real. So anyway, so she walk up or whatever, and I'm not thinking nothing of her. I'm thinking probably like she know these niggas or something like that. And usually she be with a whole bunch of people, but she was by herself. So she walk up and she was just like, bro, like something to her brother, and he was just like, what? And she was like, is mama gonna come back? Like, is she bringing weed or what? Like, you know, he was just like, oh yeah, I think she finna come back, but she finna go to something else. Like, so I don't know. So I'm thinking like, oh, this her house, which makes sense because she's not with all her friends. She just by herself. So I'm like, she live here. So I'm like, oh, this Shantae house. Well, I didn't know Shantae had a brother. That's her brother. So then she's like something, she just talking to him, but mind you, she's talking to her brother, he responding to her, but she's looking at me, and I'm noticing it. So I'm like kind of looking at her, but I look away because I'm just like, I'm not about to just be staring at each other, like I'm not all in your mouth. So I'm noticing, I look up again, she's still looking at me. So she was like, you look familiar. And I'm like, oh, for real? I'm like, yeah, I do be seeing you around and shit like that, you know, just cut straight to the point, because you know you see me around too. So she was like, yeah, but not that though, like I know you from somewhere. So I'm like, probably like, and I had said like this after hours and shit like that, or like Thirsty Thursdays and shit, like, you know, I'm just saying like, oh, probably from there. I'm like naming after hour spots and shit. So she was like, no, that's not it, that's not it. And she was like, what's your name? So I'm like, Symone. And she was like, so what's his name? I was gonna say his name, it's so hard not to say his name. So Fire was like, let me find out, you know, like, you know my, like, you know her, like, you know, little baby, like, let me find out you know her. And like he said something like that, like, but was basically calling me like his, like, you know, like I'm with him, but telling Shantae like, let me find out you know her. So she was like, oh, you know what, when he said it like that, like basically let me find out like, you know, my little baby, like, you know, when he said it like that, like putting like I'm his, that's when she finally want to connect the screws in her motherfucking head. And this bitch said the most, she gonna say, oh, I remember where I know you from. And she had some long ass nails, like her nails would be long as fuck, so she really kept like tapping them. She's like, I remember where I know you from. And I'm like, where? Like, you know, I'm thinking like maybe my cousin. I think she gonna tell me like, oh, like you like so and so cousin. Like, I'm thinking that's what she gonna say. No, this bitch gonna say, aren't you Enemy's girlfriend? I said, no, hell no. I said, that is not my boyfriend. So he like, wait, enemy? And she was like, yeah, Enemy, ain't that your boyfriend? I said, no, that's not my boyfriend. Like, we're not together. That's my ex. And she gonna say, oh, that's crazy. I seen you on the gram with him. Would y'all break up like today? And she just started laughing. And I said, no, you have not seen me. Because mind y'all, like I said, Enemy used to post me on Instagram. And he does that. That's just what he do. Like, he's the type of person, don't feel special. He's gonna post every girl he's with. He gonna post any girl he talking to. He gonna post you. He gonna post you. And at that time, I was feeling very much special. But, you know, it's like you getting posted and cheated on. You getting posted and robbed. You getting posted. You know, you just, well, posted. Thanks. But anyway. So she was like, but mind you, you have not seen us on the gram, because me and him was not together and we had not been talking. Like, I have not even been talking to this nigga. So I was like, yeah, you have not seen me on the gram recently with him. I'm like, we broke up a while ago. Mind y'all, it's probably like 2 weeks. I'm just like, we broke up a while ago. So she was just like, oh, okay, but yeah, that was your boyfriend, huh? Like, I know I'm not tripping. I was like, yeah, but that's not, no, So here go. But mind y'all, like I said, at this point, this is when I kind of start knowing that they do know each other, because again, small world, everybody know everybody in LA, especially depending on what areas you're in. People gonna know each other. So I'm like, Fire, that's his name. I keep wanting to say his name. So Fire was like, you used to fuck with Enemy? Like, that was your nigga? And I was like, yeah, like, but that's my ex. That's over. That's done. And he was like, oh, damn, it's a small world. That's it. He didn't throw salt on this man's name, nothing. He didn't talk about him. You know, everybody already know his get down. Everybody knows so much about him. But he didn't do nothing. He was just like, oh, yeah, it's a small world. That's crazy. I was like, yeah, but that's, I don't even want to talk about that. Like, that's done with. So at this point, I'm getting irritated. I'm thinking, like, this bitch is weird. And at this point, I did not know that her and Fire even talked. And I did not know that she used to fuck with Enemy. So he didn't pay it no mind. He didn't care. And she's still just standing around. Like, you know, she started talking to other people, but she wanted to stand around where we was at. So next thing you know, this other boy ended up walking to the back or whatever. And he was just like talking to everybody. He was like, I ain't never seen you before. Who is this? Like, who she with? Like, let me ask first. Who she with? And he like, Fire is like, I'm sorry before I say his name, because I keep almost saying that man's real name. Well, not his real name, but his hood name, whatever. So Fire was like, oh, she with me, like, that's all me, bro. You see me? Like, you see me? So I'm over here like really cheesing, because I'm like, he's gassing me up bad, like, you know. And I did come over there looking cute, because he told me it was a barbecue and was gonna people there, and plus I'm coming to see my man, so I was looking good, you know. I ain't just like, it's whatever. So he gassed me like, you see me, bro? You see me? He like, I see you, good. Like, I see you. They just doing all this. I'm just like, I see you. Like, you see us. You see him. You see me. You see us. Okay, anyway, so I don't know, it kind of irritated her some. Like, she seemed annoyed as fuck. Like, she did this little like, ugh, like shit. And then she was just like, I'm finna go. I ain't even trying to be here like that. So I'm finna go. And nobody paid her no mind. Like, nobody said shit to her. And she just like walked off, and she like went to the front. So then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm about to go check on my homegirls and shit. I'll be right back. So he like, all right, baby. Like, you know. So I ended up going to the front, and I was talking to them. And my homegirl, she was like, what the fuck? You seen Shantae? She was here. And I'm like, yeah, like, I guess this is her house. Like, that's her brother. And she was like, oh, wow, I did not know that. That's crazy. Like, this, I didn't even know Shantae had a brother. So I'm like, right. So I was just telling them what happened, like what she had did, like bringing up Enemy and shit. And he like, they like, she weird as fuck, like, you know. So they really like hype, like, hell no, I wish I was right there. Would have been like, bitch, why did you bring that? I'm just like, nah, it's cool, like, this is her house, like, you know. And they like, nah, like, that's weird as fuck for her to do that, like, that's weird. And I'm just like, right, it is kind of weird. I'm like, maybe she didn't mean no harm. At this point, I think she didn't mean no harm, because again, I didn't know the history of it. Like, I didn't know none of this. So anyway, so we end up talking to them or whatever, and I ended up going back to the back, and I was like, y'all want to come to the back? So they was like, nah, we up here, because they was talking to some people that was in the front. So I'm like, all right. So I'll go back to the back where he was at or whatever. And when I went back to the back, it's like 2 other people back there with where they at now too, like 2 other guys. So I'm sitting down, we talking, like, I'm kind of like chiming in, you know, every now and then, but he really just wanted me there, like wanted me right there. Because even when I went to the front and I was gone for a long time, he was all like, why don't you tell them to come back here too? Like, y'all come back here. And I was like, no, they cool. So he was like, you know, well, you know, he really just wanted me by him. And I thought that was just so amazing. Like, my man want to be all in my face, in my skin, in my ass. Like, I loved it. So he like had me right there by him. So the 2 new people that's right there, the boy was like, wait, you Enemy girl, right? Y'all, no, I am not. I am not Enemy's girl. So I'm like, no, I'm not Enemy's girl. Basically, like, bitch, I am Fire's girl. But I ain't say that though, because I didn't want to do too much. And he be like, hey, not too much now, bitch. But no. So I'm like, I'm not Enemy's girl. And he was like, oh, okay, but yeah, you used to fuck with him. Like, I seen you pull, like, you got a great car. Like, he like, you pulled up like with him in a car before. I'm like, oh, okay, like not here, but somewhere else, I guess. Something. And he was like, yeah, oh, okay, yeah, I knew you looked familiar. How that nigga doing? I'm like, I don't know, we're not together. Like, I had to just shut it down. Like, don't, we're not about to talk about the last nigga while I'm in my new man's face and my new man is he's pressure. Like, he's wet. Don't do that. That's not what we're finna do. So at this point, I'm kind of annoyed. So I'm just like, why everybody keep bringing up this man? Don't associate with him. Like, no. And you don't see him here, so why would you ask about him? And mind y'all, where they was kicking it at, it was probably like a few other girls right there, but I'm really just up in fire skin. I'm not in, like, on him though. I'm not like touching him like face to face chilling. Like, no, but you know, it's like I'm clearly here with somebody else, so why are you even bringing up the next person anyway? Like, if you feel some type of way, go tell enemy. Like, I don't care. Why are you telling me? But anyway, so after that, we was there for like a cool little minute and we ended up leaving. And when we left or whatever, I'm on Instagram, like, we back at my house now. We big just chilling. I'm just telling them, y'all, how I'm so in love with this man. Like, me and him been knowing each other 2 days now. I'm so in love with him, by the way. So I'm just on Instagram scrolling, and who page do I see? I see enemy's page, because mind you, at this point, he used to unfollow me like a motherfucker. He used to stay unfollowing me, stay blocking me. But this time he didn't block me or unfollow me, because when we stopped talking, it wasn't like I wasn't doing too much. Like, I used to do too much. Like, we'll be getting into it on Instagram and shit. So I'm scrolling, I see his page, and he posted a picture. He was in a car, and they like smoking and drinking lean, and it's him, Shantae, her homegirl, and like some other nigga. So I'm just like, what? Like, what the fuck? So I'm showing them, like, y'all see Shantae is with enemy, like, look at this. And they was just like, that bitch is weird. Like, what was her point of mentioning enemy? Like, I could see maybe if she knew she was gonna go link with enemy, then she could have said that, like, oh, I was gonna go link with him right now, that's crazy, I thought you know, something like that. But it's like, it's giving you went and linked with enemy because you see me there. Like, it was just weird as fuck. But like I said, he's gonna post, if he's posting every fucking thing. He posts his every move. For a nigga to not be like that much, he was posting his every move in real life, like in real time. So anyway, he posted that picture. They was all together in the car or whatever. So I'm just like, she weird, like, you know. But anybody worry about her? Anybody worry about her enemy? Ain't nobody worry about none of them. I'm worried about my new man. And at this point, I still don't know the history behind her and nobody. So it was whatever, right? So then next day, like, you know, time go by, me and him we still talking back and forth, chit-chatting or whatever like that. And one day he had hit me up and was like, do I want to go like to the movies or something like that? So I was like, all right. So we end up going. You know, it was cool. Like I said, me and him hung out a few times. It was cool. It's too available for him. Like, anytime he's calling me, I'm jumping, I'm available, this, that. And I used to have to teach myself, even with friendships, to stop being so available for people, because they would take advantage of you. Like, some people don't even really want to fuck with you for real or be around you for real, but it's like they know you're available, so it's like, I know to call this person. So I used to have to stop doing that, because I would be so fucking available for this man. And it just was like So one day, so mind y'all, like I said, me and him, we spending time together. We're just having so much fun. Like, not so much fun like that. We would pretty much just be going to eat. Like, it would be like, just really pretty much us going to eat. Like, I wouldn't like ride around while he go do his whatever the fuck he doing throughout the day. I don't know. I wouldn't like ride around with him in there like that. And it was just perfect, because it's like, he's not, I'm just got in a situation with somebody that was just a beggar, not like so much stuff. Like, this man had his own everything. I never been to his house at this point though, but I eventually went, y'all. But like, you know, he's just not asking me for nothing. It was just cool. Like, we spent the time, he applying pressure. Like, we would just go to eat a lot of times, or he'd bring me food, you know. But it was cool, right? So one day, it was me, my sister, and my homegirl, the same three little trio. It was at my family on my dad's side house in Compton, like my dad and them. So we over there or whatever, and we was at the grocery store for my grandpa. I just remember we went grocery shopping for him. So we was at the Food for Less right there on Rosecrans, y'all. That don't even really matter, but it's just funny because of what happened at the store. So we was at the store, and for some reason we went on the aisle with the Hallmark cards. Y'all, this is when shit got fucking weird. We on the aisle with the Hallmark cards, and we're looking at cards. So I see this one card, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get him a card. I'm gonna get a card for my man. But I'm just really just playing, just talking. So I see this one card, and I was like, oh, it's so cute. And it was a picture of, it was like a couple, like a black couple on the card. And it was like, I might not say it all the time, but I feel it all the time. I love you. And I was like, this card is so cute. And then the inside, it said some little shit, but I just remember what the outside said, and it was so cute. The card was so cute. So I'm like, oh, I should get this for my man. And we just playing, like, I'm taking pictures of the card. We just in the aisle, you know, doing all this. And my sister picked up a card, and it was a card, and it was like, on this day, something like on our anniversary, I love you, some shit is said. But we over here go my homegirl hyping us. Mind y'all, my sister, the boy she was talking to was, y'all, I be trying to tell her to be consistent with YouTube, because she need to tell her story, because the shit is funny as hell too. So the boy she was talking to, again, it's kind of like the same situation. Like, she's talking to this nigga, but it's just, y'all, mind y'all, we ain't been talking to these people this long. Of course, like I said, me and Fire only been talking to each other for like a few weeks now. So here go my homegirl hyping me up. No, you should really give him that card. You should really get that card for him. You should really do it. And I'm like, y'all think so? And I'm like, how much is it? And I'm just like, nah, like, y'all think so? And she like, bitch, I'm about to steal them. I'm gonna steal these cards for y'all. So she like took the cards. Our dumbasses really got these cards. We pumping each other head up. I'm telling my sister, like, yeah, you should get it for him. Like, you should get it. And she over here, you should get him that. He would really like that card. And I'm like, oh my God, for real? Y'all, I don't know why we was so fucking dumb. We was dumb. And she was like, even if y'all don't give it to them, I'm still about to take it. Like, y'all could get the cards. So we got the fucking cards or whatever. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, y'all really think I should give him this card? Y'all, why the fuck did I think to get this man this card? Mind y'all, me and this man had never even did anything sexually at this time. We was just cool, just kicking it, whatever. Like I said, with the whole spend the night thing, that was really only just that night on Valentine's Day. He never like mentioned it again, and I didn't either. I was just, you know, enjoying the time we was spending together. So y'all, the card. So one day, bitch. So one day, I was like not trying to be too thirsty, because I could feel it. Like, we would be talking, but I would feel like, you know, when you could tell somebody is probably like, you doing too much. So I was not trying to do too much. So anyway, he hit me up, and I remember he told me he loved We Jammin's oxtails. And at this point, I had never had We Jammin oxtails. But man, when I tell you, if you've never had oxtails from We Jammin, you need to go. They fucking fire. But anyway, so I only had We Jammin's breakfast at this time. I had only had their breakfast, but I remember he told me he loved their oxtails. So I was like, okay, this is how I'm gonna play it off. Instead of telling him I want to see him, because, you know, he would be doing shit throughout the day, you know, getting money or whatever the fuck he was doing. I don't know, being, you know, just living his regular ass life. I didn't want to be too much, because it's like I think the last time, it was some reason why I didn't want to just come out and say like, I want to see you. I don't know, like, I should have just said I want to see him. Like, why are you playing games? Just say if you want to see somebody. But anyway, I didn't say that or whatever. So he hit me up like, what you doing or whatever like that, and I lied, y'all. I fucking lied, and I was just like, nothing, about to go to We Jammin to get something to eat. I was not even about to go to We Jammin. I'm laying in the bed. I was not finna do shit. I literally wasn't doing shit. Me and my sister was just laid in the house. So he was all like, oh, for real, what you finna get? And I remember he said like he fuck with the breakfast, but he loved the oxtails. So I was like, I'm finna get some oxtails. Y'all, I just did this because I wanted him to say he wanted some, so I could see him and take him some food. Y'all, oh my God, I was so fucking thirsty. So he's like, oh, not gonna lie, that shit sound fire as fuck right now. I ain't had that in a minute. Because it's like, who wanna drive way to Pico? I mean, now it's We Jammin in Inglewood, but they don't have the oxtails there. But you know, the one on Pico, who wants to drive way to Pico all the time? Me, I don't care. Shit, I used to just drive around. Me and my friends really used to just be driving around, y'all. I would either put gas in my car, or my grandpa would give me his gas card, y'all. So anyway, I'm like, I'm gonna go to We Jammin and get oxtails. My God, I ain't never had they oxtails at this point, so I'm just saying anything. So he was like, yeah, that sounds fire. I ain't had that in a minute. So I was like, you want me to bring you some? Y'all, he didn't even ask me. I just offered him like, you want me to bring you some? And he was all like, oh shit, yeah, if you don't mind. So I'm just like, okay, like, you know, mind y'all, I wasn't even hungry. I think we had already ate. I don't fucking know. So I'm like, he want me to bring him the oxtails? So she was like, bitch, let's bring him. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna bring him some food. Mind you, at this time I had already was trying to figure out his shoe size, because I want to buy him shoes. That's the sad part too. Me and my sister used to be dumb. I swear, we would like a nigga, next you know, we'd be looking online. I'd be like, you think he'll like these shoes? Like, and she'd be like, I don't know, but look at these ones. You think he would like these? And I'd be like, probably not. What about this shirt? You think I should do a whole fit? Mind you, it'd be like, you've known this man for 3 days. But anyway, so I'm over here like, oh, okay, I'm gonna bring him some food. Like, I'm happy, like, yes, I'm gonna bring him some food. So I'm like, let me get cute, because my sister's like, you could give him his card right now. So I'm like, oh yeah, this bitch hyping me up to do this dumbass shit. So I'm just like, yeah. So I get dressed, I get cute, we head over to We Jammin. I'm still just trying to communicate with him, let him know, because you know they take a while. So I'm trying to let him know, and I have to drive way over there. So I'm trying to let him know, like, yeah, I'm still around, you know, because I really want to see him. I got cute, and I got my card, like, I got my Hallmark card for him. Y'all, when I really think back on it, that is the most weirdest shit I ever fucking done, man. Like, why would you do this? Like, why the fuck would you? So anyway, I ended up getting the food and I asked him where he was at, and he was at that same homeboy house that he's always at, you know, Shantae's brother. So I pull up and he was in the car with his homeboys, y'all. Oh my god, I could just imagine what the fuck they said. Like, I never even asked him about it. Like, even later in life when he reached out to me and was like, hey, how you been? Like, how you doing and stuff like that, I never mentioned it because it's so fucking embarrassing. Like, I really hope he forgot about it. Like, I hope he don't be one of the people that bring it up and just die laughing like, y'all wanna know this weird bitch did? Like, oh my god. So y'all, so I pulled up like right behind his car, and I didn't even park. Like, I double parked. I put up behind his car. I got out because I was so nervous. I got out, I got the food in the car, and I was like, hey, like, he was like, oh, you finna pull off? I'm like, yeah, I got something to do. Like, you know, I'm just lying. He's like, okay, yeah, you look cute. I'm like, yeah, thank you, da da da. So he's like, let me give you a hug. So I had handed him the food and I handed him the card too, but he got out to give me a hug, so he put it down. So he get out, he give me a hug, and he was like, oh, okay. He's like, what's that? I'm like, that's for you. I'm like, all right, well, I'll see you later, bye. I hopped in my car, I drove off. Y'all, I could just imagine when he seen that fucking card that said, I might not tell you all the time, but I feel it all the time, I love you. I know he probably was like, bitch, I know you for 2 weeks. What the fuck is you talking about, man? And my sister, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. And she's just like, oh my god, like, girl, no, that's good you did that. Like, you know, she's just telling me like he's gonna love it. Like, bitch, did you want me to be humiliated? Like, I don't know what, when I really was just talking to her on the phone before I started doing this video, I was like, bitch, what was wrong with us? She's like, no, that's not why he stopped fucking with you. Bitch, yes it is. Yes it is. What do you mean that's not why? Like, what do you mean? Like, and I'm over here, I said, bitch, and for you to still be pumping this stupid ass shit up, it's just out of my mind. Like, so what her dude is funny because what her dude, I forgot it was something, but I was like, she had took a picture of it and was gonna send it to him, and I was like, ooh, while we're over here, we could drive by his house and put it on his car. And she did not want to do it, and I'm really over here trying to hype her up like, yes, you should put it on his car, and she over here talking about something. I think he might think I'm weird if I do that. Oh, he might think you weird if you give him an anniversary card and put it on his car when y'all ain't even in a couple. Oh, that's the weirdest thing. And I was just telling her this too. She was really like, no, he would have thought I was weird. Bitch, that was the only weird part. You putting the card on his car was the only weird part. Okay. But nah, I swear, when I really think back, like, that shit is embarrassing. Not them really hyping me up to get this man a card. Did he mention the card? No, I think he texted me and was just like, thank you for my food, LOL. And I was just like, you're welcome, with like a kiss face and shit. Like, I don't think he even mentioned the card. Now that I think about it, because I didn't mention it either. No, you know what? I don't think he did not mention that card. He didn't mention it, but he kind of like mentioned it. But this story is still going. It's still going. Because I could have split this story. And it wouldn't even make sense for me to split it up. It's pointless. So I keep it as one long story, however long it's going to be. So anyway, that happened, and he was like, thank you for my food, LOL. And I'm just like, you're welcome. I was so nervous. So at this point, it was like the same day we texted. He's texting like normal, and then the next day he texts me good morning like he usually do, but he was being dry throughout the whole day. Like, it was different from that day on. It was different. So I'm over here trying to blame the oxtails, like, maybe they didn't cook them right this day, like I should have tasted them, like maybe this, maybe that. Like, I'm like, why is he being weird to me? Like, he probably like, bitch. So I'm over here thinking like, why is he acting different? Like, I haven't really been talking to him like that. It was dry, and I'm not about to blow your phone up, even though I did that most weirdest shit ever by giving him a Hallmark card talking about I love him after 2 weeks of talking. I still wasn't finna blow your phone up. I'm the only person phone I'm blowing up is my actual man. I ain't finna blow up no boy phone. Like, I know it's crazy, but I ain't that crazy. But anyway, so I'm not blowing his phone up. I'm not even pressed. Like, if I feel like the conversation is dry, I just left it at that. So we didn't talk. Like, mind you, like I said, he would see me, we would eat, like whatever. So we haven't really even been talking. After that whole one dry conversation, I tried the next day. That's what I do. I think, because I be like, maybe I'm tripping. So I'll try to hit somebody up again, and when I noticed it, I'm like, okay, I'm not tripping. Like, they not trying to fuck with me like that no more. So I'm like, dang, fuck, what was it about? I'm not even thinking nothing about the card, y'all. I'm not thinking it was the card. So I was just like, oh my god. It's crazy, because what made me start to think the card was weird is when I told my mom, and she was like, that's weird as hell. And I was like, what? And she was just like, why would you do that? And I was just like, Mom, excuse, you wouldn't have did that? She's like, what the fuck? Like, you know, that's when I started kind of thinking. I'm just like, okay, maybe she tripping. She should have seen the card. If she would have seen the card, she would have been like, give him the card. But y'all, anyway, so we hadn't been talking. It probably been like 3 days, and we did not talk. We didn't talk. Like, the good morning text ended. Like, he was not talking to me, and I still have him on Instagram. He didn't block me or unfollow me or nothing like that. But I'm just so sad because I'm just like, my man. He left me, and I couldn't understand why. And you know, all this time I'm over here thinking, because I even would see Enemy post Shantae even more. Like, he would be hanging out with her, so I'm thinking like, maybe Shantae saying some weird shit, or maybe people keep asking about Enemy. Like, I'm thinking everything else besides me being a fucking weirdo. I'm thinking everything. I'm thinking like, maybe Enemy must have said some weird ass shit, because he seemed like the type to be a weird hating ass nigga. Or maybe Shantae. And I really wanted to hit up Enemy and cuss him out so bad. I haven't even talked to this man. I wanted to hit him up and cuss him out like, bitch, you better keep my motherfucking name out your mouth when it comes to this new nigga, okay? Like, I really want to do that, and it's like, whole time it's me. It was you, Symone. Like, take accountability. It was me. I fucked up. So anyway, so I wanted to post something because I wanted a reason for Enemy to hit me up so I could kind of go off on him. So I knew what to do to get him mad. So I had some lean, y'all know. I think, yeah, you could say that word. So I had some, and I was trying to get rid of it any fucking way, because sometimes like I would come across it and I wanted to get rid of it. So it's like, you know, back in the day, you didn't even have to really even post who need, who won't, whatever like that. Like, all you would really have to do is kind of post it, and then niggas would hit you up like, oh, where that's at, how much, who got it, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Especially depending on the type it was, because at that certain time it was a drought on certain shit, and da, 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 da. But anyway, so I kind of like posted like, it was nothing in the cup, but I posted 2 styrofoam cups. Like, it was a picture of me with 2 styrofoam cups. Ew, y'all, ew. But anyway, yeah, I posted a picture like that. I couldn't even see what was in the cup. It could have just, it wasn't nothing in the cup, but I did have, and I was, you know, trying to post like subliminal so people could kind of think and be like, oh, what you got, who got it, blah blah. So I had posted that or whatever, and I knew Enemy is a fiend. I knew he was gonna be like, oh, I ain't talked to her, but I need it, and you know, he would think that, oh, if she got it, even if we don't talk, he would probably think like I could get some for free from her, like I ain't even gonna have to pay, like this gonna be good. So I posted that, you know, as bait, just 2 as well as bait, so he could hit me up, so then I could kind of like feel around and see like, did he know? Because I knew if he would have hit me up and we would have talked or something like that, which I wasn't gonna give him none unless he bought it for me. But, and no, I was not selling stuff or nothing like that, so don't think I'm incriminating myself, because I'm not. Like I said, it was legally prescribed. But anyway, so I knew that he would ask me for something, then it would eventually come out. So I really just wanted to know why Fire stopped talking to me. So I'm thinking like Enemy has something to do with it. So when I posted this picture, Enemy didn't even end up hitting me up. He didn't even care. But guess who liked the picture? Fire liked my picture, y'all. So I'm over here, I'm like, oh, Fire liked my picture. Fire liked my picture. And y'all, I'd still be saying this to my sister, but I say his real name, because y'all don't understand. I was in the car at this point, I'm driving, and I got the notifications. Now, notifications on my phone. Only notifications on my phone is if people calling or texting. I don't have no notifications from DM. So if we having a full-blown DM and I kind of don't reply back fast enough, that's really is why I don't like notifications. But anyway, so I seen it and I was just like, oh my god, like I screamed. I'm like, Fire like my picture. And she was just like, bitch, for real? I'm like, yes. So now I'm posting all type of selfies, not just with me with the thing, because I know he didn't want, if I never thought that he was only liking it because he wanted that or whatever. It's hot as hell up in here, y'all. Y'all, I'm sorry if I'm starting to get sweaty. It's because being behind these lights get hot, and it's like my AC is so loud, like, so bear with me. Now I'm just taking so many selfies. I'm taking so many pictures and just posting them, because I'm like, he clearly think I look good today. Okay, so I'm just posting pictures, and next thing you know, like, he's just liking them. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I hit him up. My sister's like, hit him up. So I'm just like, no, you know, kind of don't want to really listen to you no more. But even though at this point I didn't even think that of the card situation, so I'm just like, no, I'm gonna let him hit me up. I'm not even gonna hit him up. Y'all, he did not hit me up. He did not hit me up. He just was liking my pictures. So eventually, y'all, we was out and about, and for some reason late night, me and my sister would just be laying there, and it'll be like midnight, and I'd be like, you want to go to Krispy Kreme's? And she'd be like, Yeah, so we would go to Krispy Kremes. Like, it would be to get a donut too. Most of the time I wouldn't even eat my donut. I just wanted a reason to get out the house, like take a little drive and shit like that. I think I get that from my mom, but we'll go to Krispy Kreme or whatever. We'll just leave the house 1 in the morning, midnight. It didn't matter. We drive in a Krispy Kreme. We hop into that drive through. So we go to Krispy Kreme or whatever, and I posted a picture of the menu or whatever. So Fire ends up commenting and was like, fire, like that sounds good right now. So I'm like, bitch, hold up. So I'm like, should I hit him up? And mind y'all, it's funny because after a while at Krispy Kremes, we end up meeting a friend. Like, the guy who worked there, we used to always pull up and we'd be like, hi Papa, and he'd be like, hey girls. It would be funny as fuck to where we'll come and we'd be like, hey Papa, and he'd be like, he would know it's us. And he'd be like, where have y'all been? I did not see y'all last night. And we'd be like, Papa, and we'll be recording him. Why was we calling this grown man Papa? I don't fucking know. I don't know why we started calling this man Papa. I'm not really asking her, like, why the fuck was we calling him that? Like, why the fuck was we coming there to this man's job? And he would really sit in the window and be talking to us, and we'd be having a full-blown conversation with him. And like, okay, bye, we love you, Papa. Like, you know, we would be like, what the fuck? You know, at this point, it's given I was slow. I'm starting to think that. Anyway, so I posted it. He was like, that sounds good right now. So I'm like, should I hit him up? So we're in the drive-thru and I'm talking to the man. I'm telling him like, what you think? He was like, yeah, hit him up. So I'm like, okay. So I hit him up and I was all like, you want one? Like, you know, you want a donut? And he was all like, yes, please. I was just like, got my nigga back. Sweet. You know, so I told him, all right. So I was like, what kind you want? So this nigga just wanted a lot. Like, damn, why do you want so much? But anyway, so I ended up getting him his donut or whatever, and I pulled up to him and I was gonna just give it to him, and he was just like, that's it? Like, dang, I ain't even seen or heard from you or nothing like that. You know, playing on mind games. But it's like, bitch, you know why? It's because you stopped talking to me. But anyway, so he just like, yeah, you just gonna pull off? So I'm like, yeah, you know, we just chilling, me and my sister. And he was all like, I want to spend the night with you. Like, you want to spend the night with me? And I was just like, what? Yeah. Mind y'all, I ain't talked to this man. I know the right thing to do should have been like, no, it's cool, play hard to get. But who knew when I was going to get this opportunity again, y'all? So no, I was not doing that. Got the opportunity now, I was jumping for it. That was me back then. Like, me now is not that fucking sad. Like, oh my God. We live and we learn. We all do some shit. So anyway, so he was like, you want to spend the night with me? So I'm like, yeah. So he was like, all right, park your car. Mind y'all, I had took the donut to his house, not to Shantae's brother's house. So he was like, park your car. He was like, we could ride in my car and I'll take your sister home. Like, I'll drop your sister off at home so then you could come to my house. So I'm just like, because at first he was asking like, do I want my sister to drive? And she was just like, no. Like, you know, so we was like, okay, well, we could both drop her off. Because I was like, I could drop her off and come back. He's like, no, it's cool. We could both drop her off. So I parked my car and we get in his car. And we dropped her. We went to go drop her off, y'all. And it was just the smallest things this man was doing that was really turning me on. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. So his tire light came on because he had me drive, you know. Of course. So he got me driving or whatever. His tire pressure light came on. So I'm like, oh, you need air. And he was like, okay, pull up to the gas station so I could get air. Y'all, and him putting air in his tire turned me on. And let me tell y'all why. Because it was a time where me and Enemy was in the car and my tire got low and I needed air, and this nigga did not know how to put air in the tire. And I didn't either. Like, I still don't know how to put. I need to figure out how to do that, y'all. Because I would go straight to the tire shop. Like, when it's like, bitch, you could have just stopped at the gas station. I would go straight to the tire shop. Or like, I would call somebody and be like, you meet me at this gas station, put air in my tire. Like, you know what? I should just put it in there. I had my sister do it. She was like, bitch, you literally just put the thing. And I don't think I actually even tried. You know what? I'm gonna just go do it for fun tomorrow. But anyway, so it really turned me on. Like, this nigga know how to put air in his tire. And he was like, oh, okay, it should be cool for now. He was like, because I would change it. Like, I have my spare in the trunk. And I'm just thinking, he know how to change a tire. Because again, it was a situation with Enemy too. And he didn't know how to change the tire. He didn't know how to put air in the tire. He didn't know how to pick a tire up. He didn't know how to do shit with the motherfucking tire. So I was just like, girl, you see that? And my sister over here like, why would he not know how to put air in the tire? Like, you know, because she clearly fuck with grown men. And I fuck with people who don't know how to do shit at that point. So I'm just like, bitch, because my old man didn't know how to put air in the tire. Like, the fuck, bitch, why you don't do that. Don't do that. So anyway, we ended up dropping her off and we went back to his house. And y'all, when I tell y'all, I was so like, I wanted to text my sister so bad. And mind y'all, I was so happy that before we went to Krispy Kreme, I had took a shower and all that. Like, I took a shower and I had laid down. And I'm so happy I didn't think like, okay, I'm gonna just take a shower when I get back in the house. Like, I'm so happy I was already relaxed and clean because it was just perfect. Even if shit, I would have told him, hey, I'm taking a shower at your house with you. But anyway, so I was at his house and I wanted to just text her so bad. Now when I'm thinking about it, y'all, I didn't want to come off like a weirdo, but I was like, I wonder if they got more availabilities in here, because that townhouse was so big and nice. Y'all, imagine I would have moved next door, but no. But y'all, it was nice. Like, his room was huge. Like, that shit, when I really think back on it, that motherfucking room was big. Like, that room was big as fuck. Like, okay, anyway, it was big and it was just so clean. Everything was nicely cleaned and everything was just nice, y'all. It was nice. But anyway. So anyway, I spent the night, and y'all already know what time it is. I had to show out. We did the thing. And you always gotta make a good first impression. I feel like you cannot give like, when you first start doing it with somebody, you first have sex with somebody, you cannot get him lazy. I feel like you cannot give lazy sex until like the 4th or 5th time, because you have to get a first impression. Has to be good, because the first time it's like, okay, let me show what you can do. Okay, cool. Then the second time it's like, let me see if you was just showing out or this really you. And he's like, okay, even back to this really you. Third time, gotta show him this is me. And then by the 4th time, I want to say, maybe you could, you know, you could be a little lazy if you want to, but by 5th time for sure you could if you need to. You know, you ain't got to do all your tricks at that time. But for sure, them first 3 times you have to show out, and that's what I did. I showed the fuck out, y'all. Showed out. 5 stars on Yelp. I'm just saying, don't want to toot my own horn. But anyway, let me stop. Anyway, so I spent the night or whatever, and I had left in the morning. He wasn't telling me to leave early, but I wanted to leave early because, again, my sister was at my house. Cause at this time, I think this before she had moved to LA. So she was living in the Bay, so she was out here just for like a few weeks. She would just come out here and shit. So she was at my house, so I just was like, oh, I'm gonna leave early. Like, I just left like early in the morning. And when he like, cause it was no parking really where he lived at, so I parked like around the corner. So he drove me to my car, and he was just like, you really fuck with me, like you really fuck with the kid, like, you know, he kind of said something, and I was like, yeah. He's like, you love me, like, you know. He started laughing. He was like, nah, but I really fuck with you. Y'all, when he said that, I wanted to like think like he liked the card, he know I love him, but no. He probably was making a joke out of it, like, stupid bitch. But y'all, I was really just blushing. I'm just like, yeah. And like, he gave me a kiss, like, you know, and then, you know, and then it was like, like, you know, with the little tongue. And then it was like another, and then I left. And yeah, y'all, let me tell y'all. I clearly didn't put on a good show. No, I'm just kidding. You know what it was? I think what it was he probably was like, I cannot get with this crazy bitch. Like, he probably was thinking like, nah, I don't know. I think he thought about it, because even when he would text me and like say little stuff, you know how people text you and try to like reminisce about what y'all did. But we really, after that, it just went back. We really wasn't talking like that no more. Like, we really was not talking like that no more. And then it was like the situation that happened with, like, you know what, that could kind of be another story time. Yeah, because we was talking, but then not really, you know. No, now that I think, yeah, okay, it was a situation that happened with, like, the situation included Shantae, his baby mama, and I was kind of in that situation. But yeah, but it was just like, with him, we didn't never spend the night again. We still talked, and I had seen him again after that. Like, I seen him, like, we went out to eat and shit like that. But it was like a situation that happened. Now, I could make that a different story time and talk on it. But, and then eventually I ended up getting back with Enemy. And y'all know that was my man. So when he came back apologizing and stuff like that, my, you know, home is where the heart is, or heart is where the home. I don't fucking know. But that's where it was. So I ended up going back to Enemy when I should have just said, you know what. But it was like, because of the situation that happened with Shantae and all of them, I wasn't trying to get my guard up, because I started realizing, I'm like, okay, this nigga Fire do not want a girlfriend, you know. But it's like, at least if I go back to Enemy, which I could have just been single, I would have a man, but he probably would have wanted me as a girlfriend one day. I blew it. But either way it go, I feel like I blew it. He wasn't the same him after that card, y'all. Like, he was not the same him after that. But yeah, like I said, when he hit me up later in life and was just like, how you doing and stuff like that, like, it was cool, you know. I didn't want to bring it up. I really was just trying to find his IG just recently. I think he deleted it because I was trying to show my sister me like our DMs, because I was just like, anyway, that's the end of this story, y'all. For now, I could come back and tell y'all the situation that happened with Shantae, because Shantae became like a little not a problem, y'all. It's crazy because Shantae wasn't even a problem for me. Her homegirl was, y'all. Why I end up talking to somebody her homegirl was talking to? It's just like, I can't get a break with this motherfucking little ass down. No, I'm just kidding, but no. So yeah, Shantae, but the situation was like a little but yeah, that's the end of this story, you guys. Sorry I kept y'all waiting so long. I got another story that I'm gonna tell this week because me and my sister was just talking about it, and this one is crazy as hell because it got something to do with some Chicago niggas. And y'all, it's just this story, we was really just talking about it because she was just like, bitch, you be putting me in some crazy ass situation. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. And I had wanted to tell, like, when I was talking about it with her, I wanted to tell that story, but I was like, you know what, I owe them this story, so I'm gonna just tell it next. But I'm gonna tell y'all that story next. I'm gonna record it this week for sure. But anyway, that's it for this video. Y'all already know what to do. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also make sure to follow me on social media and be paying attention to my community posts, because I will go on there and like ask y'all which story y'all want next and stuff like that. Because the month of August, I'm coming full because y'all, I just need to come. I'm trying to be consistent. I'm trying to post like 5 times a week, so I need to come. Like, I need to come through with the come through. Y'all need to be seeing videos from me where it's like, damn bitch, you posting videos Monday through Friday. Well, no, it wouldn't be Monday through Friday because I wouldn't just have Saturday off, but you know, I want to post at least 5 times a week, Sundays for sure, and then whatever other days. But yeah, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my social media listed down below, and peace out, y'all.